afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, CEOs, business leaders. We want to thank you all for this opportunity, particularly to CEO Africa Roundtable. Thank you very much for giving us this opportunity. Allow me to invite the panelists. Commissioner A. Daka, please come so that we don't waste time. Let's move fast. He's a board member for CEO Africa Roundtable, the founder and group CEO for Docere. He says he's a teacher by purpose, an entrepreneur by practice, a chartered accountant by profession. And then Mr. Nkosana Ndhlovu, the group CEO, Group Executive Strategy and Transformation, CBZ. Professor Wilson Parawira, the Deputy CEO, Zimbabwe Council for Higher Education, ZimChe, our regulator in higher education. And then Professor Ancilla Nhamo, she's a research specialist at the University of Zimbabwe. The only lady, but I think there is 5 of them there. Good afternoon. So, where is the clicker? Anybody with the clicker? Somebody took it. Bangawari pano. Where? All right. Okay. So, Prof. Nhamo, come, let's make this presentation first. It's Professor Dr. Paul Mapfuma, our Vice Chancellor's presentation. It needed 2 professors to make this presentation. So for conflict of scheduling, he was not able to be here, but to make the presentation. Now, the previous presenter who was seated right at the end there already talked about this relationship between academia and industry. That's what we are going to be talking about in the next few minutes. Prof, take that one. Take this one. Go.
Okay.
No, I think we're fine now.
Thank you, Professor. I think what Prof. Chifamba is saying is that in order to represent well our Vice Chancellor, we needed to have 2 professors. So our VC is bigger like that. Thank you.
So, what are the major issues?
Okay. Okay, this is our introduction. We needed the title.
Okay. To build a future-ready, industrialized Zimbabwe. Ladies and gentlemen, industry, you cannot ignore the universities. I know there's been a history in the past where universities were up there and everybody somewhere there, and we try to move forward. For those who are listening, a lot of what we want to do to industrialize and modernize Zimbabwe will depend with the research, evidence-based practice, and that's where, as universities, we come in. And this afternoon, we really are talking about what is happening at the University of Zimbabwe.
Okay, thank you, Prof. So I think for the past 2 days, what we have listened to is summarized in what we are saying here. That the challenge, the underlying challenge in Zimbabwe, for us, we are saying the underlying challenge is a critical unavailability of skills that can power industry. We can talk about industries having shortage of energy. We can talk about shortage of roads and so on. But the underlying fact is that we have a critical shortage of skills that powers that industry. And what then, that results in the lack of local capacity to produce goods and services, lack of goods and services locally, meaning that we have to import. We have had a lot of issues about importation, and we then have a high import bill that we have as a country. And of course, it trickles down to each one of us. That bill that the nation pays, it is every one of us that is going to pay that.
So, Zimbabwe imports. These are some of the things we import, and the amount of money we have spent since 2021 January to August 2025. We've spent about 9.3 billion in industrial chemicals. We got this information from Zimstat about 3 days ago. 1.5 billion on pharmaceuticals, 800 or so million on energy and fuel, mostly electricity, and machinery and equipment, 1.1 billion. Now, we took some of the things which we are importing. We are importing oils, 1.5 billion, the same period I told you, from January 2021 to August 2025. We are importing wood products, ice cream sticks. We spent $119,000 during that period. We are importing vegetables, seeds and fruits, apples. We spent 19 million, same period. Fresh grapes, 5.1 million. Pigeon peas, 2.3 million. I mean, the list goes on. To your right, that's what we are exporting. We are exporting raw material, unprocessed things. March, April, 42.3% of what we exported, gold, okay? And then, you want to comment?
Yes, I want to emphasize that it's a semi-manufactured gold, which means it just indicates our industrialization, our levels of industrialization. Everything in the top 10 of what we import annually, it's mostly ores, unprocessed, and tobacco. And even the tobacco is also unprocessed. So that's what we export, and then we get, this is common knowledge, but when you really look at the statistics, you see the problems that we have. Because top 10, it's just ore. And then we say we are industrialized, we have industries, but we are not really producing anything.
Okay. So, when we are exporting ore, let me tell you where universities come in. Some of what we are exporting, they just take the whatever, dig and put it in a rolly ship and goes away. Do you know, there could be minerals in there we don't know about. Where it's ending, they know about it. But if there was partnership with universities, we can say, there's another mineral. It may be on the periodic table or it's not there. But we talk about that, we work together as teams. Now, the world outside Africa, they want us to be their market. They protect our resources, the raw materials, the fauna and flora, and they make the products and they export to us.
Okay. So a lot has been said about Education 5.0, heritage-based Education 5.0, and a lot of emotions have been expressed. Some have not been expressed, but they've been felt about Education 5.0. But let me tell you, CEOs, we cannot afford not to support Education 5.0. Because if we do not support Education 5.0, we will remain with the statistics that we have today. So what the University of Zimbabwe has done is to transform itself into what we call an innovation marketplace. Because what we need to do in order to deal with our challenges that we have in order to power industries is to meet at a central place, and the university is placing itself as the center where researchers, industry, investors, and government meet and change the status quo that we just talked about.
So you don't have to be setting innovation hubs or research and development centers in your industries. You are already funding about 11 state universities. Taxpayers' money is being used. All you need to do is partner with the university, say, we would like you to develop this program. We co-create things together.
Okay. So the university has come up with what we call research, innovation, and industrialization ecosystem. This is our adaptation at the University of Zimbabwe of the Education 5.0 model. And that's our model on the screen there. What have we done? We have taken research to be the center of everything that happens at the University of Zimbabwe. Whether it is teaching, whether it is community service, innovation, industrialization, even our administration is research-centered. So this is in order for us to be able to produce goods and services, to empower the Zimbabwe to produce goods and services, which, as we indicated, we are not doing that. In most cases, we are warehouses for other continents, for other countries, where we import the goods and then we sell the goods. So even if we are looking at the continental free trade that is coming up, if we are not careful, we will still continue to be warehouses where we import from China and then we sell the goods among the African countries. So we want to change that. We put research at the center, and we are not just doing research. I know that a lot of us have been to the universities and they've done research, and most of your projects were very, very good, but you left them. And we as universities, we put them in the libraries as your dissertations. But now we are not doing that. We are looking at that project, turning it into something that can actually be used outside of the university through our innovations, and we are then turning that into products and services, and of course empowering our students through our startups.
So the University of Zimbabwe you knew many years ago is not the same. It changed in 2019. Where we used to sweat as the lecturers and teach and teach and teach, it's not that anymore. We still teach. We still conduct research, but that research is not necessarily for publication only. We are still required as university to be frontiers in providing new knowledge. But we have gone to innovation, and we want to cause industry in Zimbabwe. That's why we are seeking partnership with CEOs.
So our ecosystem endeavors to develop innovation and enterprises, create startups, empower students to create startups. Just imagine when you were at university, if you were given the chance to start a company, how much it would have changed you, even in terms of the mindset. So our startups are not just coming to compete with industry. They are an empowerment drive, and we are creating that at the university.
So there have been some startups, because what happened, we retired certain degrees. we said we want to exploit our coal in Hwange. We introduced some degrees. We are importing medical equipment. Dr. Nyakabawa was talking about all these equipments which we have to buy. So we introduced the biomedical engineering degree so that our young people can make those pieces of equipment. Actually, one of them we are trying to bring into the innovation hub. First year, she came up with a dialysis machine. Second year, she had this blood pressure something. So those are prototypes that require industry to say, let's partner together. What you see there is pictures where the Minister of Skills visited the university during the Research, Innovation, and Industrialization Week, and there were about 5 young people. The drug discovery program, degree program, which was also started in about 2017, to say, why are we importing medicines? People were talking about herbal medicines earlier on. We want our young people, there is all this fauna and flora we have in Zimbabwe. Can we not make our own medicines? So a number of startups, we forget very quickly, but universities were in the forefront of the COVID response when the world closed its doors on us. So there are all kinds of products young people are coming up with at university, but they are looking for industry partners like you. So we also have different types of programs. You don't have to be at the university to be part of the innovation ecosystem or research. We have what we call community innovators. They come from the public and they partner with the experts at the university, and we co-create products like that one. She's called Langa. She's doing cosmetics. She says everything that you eat, you can actually come up with whatever cosmetics. So she's partnering with our colleagues at the Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences. Some of these products you can actually see in the displays. Now, earlier on, if I'm not mistaken, whether it was yesterday, somebody talked about the climate change that is happening. What you see there is our researchers. They've come up with seed, maize seed, that is resistant to the armyworm. It is registered with the authorities. It has gone through the trials. It's on the market. It's ready for the industrialists to partner with universities. On your left, on your right, Mbeu there. So we are also in the innovation hub. Young people doing biochemistry are coming up with fertilizer. We are spending lots of money importing fertilizer, but these young people also have solutions. So, the list goes on. You want to say something about the agro-industrial park?
Yes, our agro-industrial park was on ZTV just 2 days ago, showing what we are doing. And I liked a lot how ZBC interviewed students who are working in the agro-industrial park, because that is an empowerment opportunity that we have for our students. It's not just that we are doing, we are getting into poetry project or farming or something like that, but it is the platform where we can then train the future industrialists that we are talking about.
So what you see there, you may not see the innovation. Feed is one of the major costs in animal meat and everything. The feed we are using to feed all those chickens, about 100,000 of them, we are innovating at the university. Young people are coming up with those formulations of the feed. So at this point, we're even talking about coming up with these egg hatching, what do you call them? Hatcheries. So the cooking oil, we go to the communities. We are very interested as the university to partner with the Rural Industrialization Program. A big chunk of Zimbabwe, it will depend on how we plan, we work together with local authorities, government, and industry to make that possible. we are not just at the university, we connect with communities. Okay.
Okay, so what we are saying as the University of Zimbabwe is that we have somebody was asking where the youth are. The university is here with the youth. And they are the future industries of tomorrow. And what we are doing is to anticipate tomorrow's challenges, deal with today's challenges, and build a resilient, knowledge-driven economy.
So those are some of the partners we are working with, local and international. Now you want to comment?
Maybe if you can go back to the partners. We are already working with some of the industry partners. If you are not coming to the university, you are lagging behind. So we just wanted to show you that. And we are also working with international partners. Recently, we had an internship program with Toyota Connect, part of the Toyota group of companies, and we had a fantastic internship, very successful internship. Some of you know about it. So if you are not at the university, you are lagging behind.
So the industrialization and modernization agenda of Zimbabwe will depend on you CEOs partnering with the university, and together we can make Zimbabwe an industrialized country. So in conclusion, the University of Zimbabwe is now well positioned. Look, it's not just on the mountain. You can come and partner with us. Thank you, Prof. You can sit down and I will ask. Okay. I will then ask now, Professor Parawira, you are the regulator. Tell us, Education 5.0.
Thank you very much, Professor Chifamba and Professor Nhamo. And also thank you very much, the CEO Roundtable. What has happened in the few minutes and also in the morning when MSU presented, we are trying to unpack to you Education 5.0. As I mentioned in a few minutes ago, there's still a lot of people maybe not understanding where we want to go or what we want to try to achieve as a government, and particularly as the higher education system. But so basically, the presentation was unpacking the Education 5.0. What we are saying now is our higher education system is now aligned with the nation's industrialization and modernization agenda by adopting this Education 5.0. Some call it a model, some will call it a philosophy, and some call it it's a policy. So that is what has happened. Our education system is aligned with the Education 5.0 model. The Education 5.0 model, it has added just 2 missions, but very important to the traditional missions which we used to have. Our universities used to just to teach, do research, and do community service, and to end there. So we're saying our education system is now being reconfigured or re-engineered to include innovation and industrialization. And what we're also saying is by aligning to the industrialization and modernization agenda of Zimbabwe, universities, not only University of Zimbabwe, all the universities in Zimbabwe are now or are leading and or are actively participating in the industrialization and modernization of Zimbabwe. And therefore, the presentation of unpacking and the call for us to work together, because we all are Zimbabweans and we have one country and one agenda. So the shift in the Education 5.0 it has also resulted, as was being mentioned in a few minutes ago by Prof. Chifamba and Prof. Nhamo, there was a re-engineering of the curriculum. New programs were brought into force. We also introduced minimum bodies of knowledge and skills for each program and so forth, which resulted in us, we are confidently saying, we are now producing future-ready graduates.
Good.
With the skills, with the critical thinking and problem solving and innovative skills. So most of our graduates now, which maybe we didn't prepare, quite a number of them now have companies before they even graduate. Quite a number through these spin-offs and startups as well. Quite a number of them are also getting jobs when they go for industrial attachment and they really actually start implementing the Education 5.0. We know quite a number already promised their job before they just go to find out here to come back and work. Because
Okay,
of what
I
they've
need
done.
to stop you there. Now, how do we bridge the import-export gap through new education architecture for Zimbabwe? Mr. Nkosana, Ndhlovu, you want to take that? Oh,
I'm testing if this is working. Can you hear me?
yeah.
Okay, great. So thank you very much, Prof, and thank you, Profs. We are surrounded by Profs because it's an education conversation. But to bridge the gap, the import gap through education architecture in Zimbabwe, we must produce what we consume. That's the first step. And we must export what we innovate, not to export our raw materials unprocessed. So Education 5.0 is actually welcome from industry side. I mean, it enables manufacturing, agro-processing, digital entrepreneurship. And we already see this, we're already financing some MSc from a CPZ point of view. There's a lot of work happening. But we want to take that further to actually financing at incubator level at the universities and start driving it from that point of view. Let me give you an example on technology, for example. Few, if any, banks in Zimbabwe are fully running on a core banking system that is developed in country. I'm not sure if there is any, but very few if they are there. Most banks run on foreign developed platforms, which are expensive and are often bloated with modules that are actually irrelevant for Zimbabwe's context. Simple research actually shows that of those core banking platforms, only about 30% of features are actually being used in Zimbabwe, but are being paid for, and are being paid for in very expensive foreign currency because they are imported. And our local universities have very strong computer science capabilities and fintech hubs. Why are we not partnering to develop digital platforms that are relevant for Zimbabwe and that will drive our core banking in Zimbabwe? And we are ready for that opportunity to partner and save on forex outflows, improve our system relevance, and actually export those, because this problem is not a Zimbabwean problem only, it's an African problem. We can actually start exporting from Zimbabwe. So I think this is how we can actually close this gap. Prof.
Thank
very
you.
much.
I actually play with a lot of these bankers, golf partners, and I say to them, the software you are using, our students can make it, but somehow they don't trust them. All right. What are the opportunities for connecting industry and academia in advancing the industrialization agenda for Zimbabwe? Commissioner Daka.
Thank you. I'm sure you can hear me.
Yes.
Lovely. So there are quite a lot of opportunities here. First of all, opportunities which are mutual in the sense that as industry is reacting, the reason why businesses are set, they are set to solve societal problems. And these problems are either at an individual or at an entity, which is another company, or a home or public sector. So we are solving problems. So that pillar of pipe 3 on the 5.0 is very critical, because that's the source. So we have got our own African problems. We've got other people's problems, which is regional or globally, which we can solve from here. So that's where it starts. What is the problem that we are solving? I think if you look at your model on that item 5, it was talking because that's where it comes back. So that's the first. Then when we have problems like that as industry, as business, we then come out and say, Mr. University, do you have these skills? We now need them. So which means that's an opportunity being given, and we can fund, we can support. And once that is done, we also see that coming back and helping solving the problem, back to the. However, the key aspect which we need to think beyond, I would like to say scale, because when you talk about industrialization, is now scale. We need to come out of tuck shop mentality. So yes, I've made a bottle, I've made this, but can I replicate, can I solve beyond Harare, beyond Zimbabwe, Africa, and global? That's where the biggest opportunity lies. And there lies a number of opportunities, meaning the solution, the IP, and also the ability to actually have bigger exports as well, and talent, and even other talents coming through. So those are the various opportunities that are sitting there. But I just wanted to, if you can allow me to say, while it's innovation, this is what I'm trying to point, while it's innovation is very critical, innovation can still be at a one single item. So I've come up with this. It's the industrialization, is the scaling, where I'm no longer doing it by hand, but including technology and mass production to solve for more people and for a bigger market. Thank you.
Okay, Professor Nhamo, you want to comment?
Yes, thank you. I was just agreeing with him, because what we do at the university is that we innovate, like he rightly said. We innovate in our labs, create the small, the single item. But what we need from industry right now is to then come in and help with scaling. Industry is not just coming in with money. We are not requesting donations because industry can actually make money from sponsoring the startups and scaling them and then get their share. So this is one other thing that we are appealing to industry, that we need to scale. And we cannot scale with our resources. We need that, a lot of resources. And that is what other countries are doing the world over. Thank you.
Thank you. I will open it to the, so that we wanted to hear lots of feedback from you. Microphones, let's move. In the meantime, I want you to know that we have also introduced degree programs like vaccinology. We should not have another pandemic and we are not ready. We have young people who are training to produce vaccines, but they need industry. Any hands, Prof?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, the University of Zimbabwe, for that excellent work. I think adding innovation and industrialization to the traditional role of the university is excellent. But there's one thing you didn't emphasize. We need to change the curriculum of what we teach to everyone at the university. We are moving away now from the certificate to skills, competencies, and capabilities, so that when your student or your product is into the market, they have certain skills. For example, you must make sure financial literacy is a mandatory subject for everyone, studying Shona, studying law, medicine, psychology. Everyone must take financial literacy as a mandatory subject. Every one of your people there must take entrepreneurship as a subject. Every one of your products must take digital literacy as a subject. Every one of your products must take AI literacy as a subject. We are migrating from showing me your certificate to say, show me what you can do, show me your skills. More importantly, it has already been indicated that we are now pushing for critical skills like critical thinking, problem solving, knowledge of self, resilience, mindset shift. And mindset shift is not only to the students, even to the market, so that when you produce a product, as you said, the industry adopt it. They also have a mindset problem because when it's made in Zimbabwe, made at UZ, made in Bare, people are not comfortable with their own products. So mindset shifts across the board. But thank you very much. Emphasis on employability, which is a function of skills, capability, and competencies. How are you measuring employability, number one? Number two, you must measure entrepreneurship. How many of your graduates have created jobs or created companies? But more importantly, how many patents has the university produced? But thank you very much for good work. Let us be very clear on the content of the curriculum so that our products are employable and they're able to be entrepreneurs.
I think I'll leave Prof. Nhamo to comment on the financial literacy because she's always talking about it.
Okay. Thank you, Professor, for that. Yes, I'm always talking about that a medical doctor has to have financial literacy, a lawyer, everyone must have that. And the university has actually already done a lot in that, but of course we can improve. For example, we have what we call university-wide modules. Every student takes these modules, and some of them include financial literacy, some of them include entrepreneurship. So we have that, but I think we can always improve on that. So in terms of content, but I also want to emphasize that in terms of content, right now we are going to review our strategic plan. We invite industry to come and work with us in changing the strategic plan, which will influence curriculum. So industry must come to us and tell us what they want us to teach in terms of content. So it's very critical that we partner in all aspects of university development. Thank you.
We call you professors of practice. You actually can teach at university now. So if you think that there's some things that need to be tweaked in some of our graduates, please come there. Sorry, a question?
Thank you. It amazes me how academics phone themselves and answer their own calls. I think,
Chairman, go ahead.
let's ground this conversation.
Yes.
This conversation, I'm sure, started from a discussion I had with Professor Mapfumo and Professor Zidziwa at a function. It was grounded on your innovation hubs. And your students are parading energy drinks. Your students are parading lotions. They are parading models of grinding mills. Go to the agricultural show, there's a competition with each and every university outdoing each other, trying to parade this. In developmental economies, these are done at primary school. So as far as industry requirements are concerned, buy-in and ownership, first we need to start with Zimchen. We need to recalibrate the skills we've deployed with Professor there. From there, you have your lecturers at universities who have never been in industry, who have been from school to school and they're still in school. So when you bring them to industry, even after following your students that you have deployed with us for attachment, you are teaching the lecturer and the student at the same time. So let's go back and recalibrate our strategy. Thank you for inviting us, Prof. But I have an argument. This country has produced enough degrees. Every other graduation ceremony, the president's hand is as big as this putting caps, but none of them are reflecting or mirroring the solutions homegrown that we need in industry. So, hey, hold on, Prof. We have not started. What we have as effective skills currently for our current problems are coming from technical colleges. So that's where we are going to invest a lot of attention for now. Let's go down there. Why I'm saying that? It's because the economy of the future is an integrated economy, which is inviting exactly what Prof. Mtambara has picked up, AI, and all those components. But that economy we don't have right now. We are talking about 10 years going forward. And well done to the University of Zimbabwe. If you are now trying to mirror that in the manner you've presented, then amongst you must be 60% industrialists, miners, geologists, engineers from industry. Why you are now churning solutions for other countries. For 2025 alone, we have lost your skills. 17 professionals from my own company. They are in Canada, they are in Australia, they are in UK. So we are spending this much for other markets. It's not here. So I'm inviting you, and thank you so much for raising it so eloquently and so passionately. I'm inviting you to say that amongst the colleagues behind me, there are better lecturers.
Yes.
Amongst those behind me, there are even better innovators.
Exactly.
What we want you to do, number one, is get the students to innovate, but we want to commercialize innovation. And what we do is most integrity in the systems that produce the innovation so that the money flows that direction. The second one is that assess our skills needs and deal with the problem of today. And the third one is that we are more than happy to partner in your strategic plan so that we can then design the formation of the skills for the future, particularly as it relates to AI. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We take that, the Director for International Relations, and is that behind you, so he was listening carefully. Please invite them.
Okay.
Let's have someone this side.
Sorry,
Ken?
before you go
Oh,
there, from
sorry.
the back, I think you can see me.
Let's make our questions short, guys, so that we have many other people, just to the point.
Okay. So
Go ahead.
at the back, left side of the room, the right?
Yes.
Here. Okay, so my question, coming from the student innovator's perspective, I think I'm probably the youngest person in the room today, and I work at Elevate Trust.
Yeah,
And
let's
what
make it short, yeah.
Yeah, the position I'm coming from is, are we actually creating an inclusive environment for innovators, for student innovators? I'm coming from a place where, from corporate, you come with innovative students who are creating these solutions. Do you actually give them the room to create those solutions and actually mature those innovations into something that's changing our companies, or we stifle that innovation and basically help them adopt to the norm? And from universities, one of the things that we've done is helped different innovation hubs by taking them for tech transfer opportunities. But is there actually that exchange of information that's happening from one university to the other? Because what I've seen year on year is you're competing on the same things, and there isn't that sharing of information. So are we actually creating the innovation system and ecosystem that we want for Zimbabwe, and how are we facilitating that young people can actually take the stand, that over the next 5 years we actually have more young people in this room than actually the current state?
Who wants to answer that one? Pro?
Okay, thank you.
Make it short, make it short.
All
Want
right.
to cover.
Yes, but first of all, I want to address what Chairman said. We take everything.
Everything
that he
you said, we take it.
But I want to talk about the lotions and something. Yes. So what we need to understand is that we are transforming education. The education that we are going for was not there. So those people who are making lotions, they did not make lotions in primary school, and they don't even know how to make a product. I understand that as industry, you know the processes of making a product development. It is a skill that is learned. And when you see our lotions, please don't see the lotions, but see a student that has learned the skills of product development. We cannot start with going to the moon. So our students are learning to make these products. So thank you so much. Please support our lotions. Then for the student innovator, I think as innovation hubs, we are really supporting our innovators. But the question was whether we are working together as universities. I would say we are partly working, but we still are in the transformation, as I said. So we have legacy issues where universities compete among themselves and others, especially for the University of Zimbabwe. People think that we are big brothers. So but we are not really. But so there's still a little bit of not working together. But I think it will improve as we develop the ecosystem. But also industry, what other countries have done. Industry sectors have developed what are called accelerators, where people who are working, students that have been working on similar products, they can get into an accelerator, and as industry, you can actually bring them together and they can work on a better product than they have been working in their universities. So that is another opportunity that industry can take to assist in that.
So
thank you.
There is opportunity. You can come to the university. We have young people. About 3 days ago, there was a young person, Form 2, with a solution to a problem. So this space is there. But what we don't have now is industry partners to partner with university to take that innovation to the next level. Ken, you had a question? Okay. Okay, make it short, please. Professor. Oh, backbenchers. So after Ken, you'll be next, the backbencher.
Okay.
Be short, sir. Yeah.
I love professors, I respect professors, but mine, I will speak like Professor Mtambara. Zimche. The quality of professors, because of your drive, say every lecturer.
The quality of professors, because of your drive that every lecturer at the university, especially teaching masters, must be a professor. Zimche. What kind of professors are we developing in our country, especially during the era of this AI?
Okay.
Professors, I respect them, but I need
1
your
minute,
comment.
Prof, answer the question.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yes. If you happen to have read the document, actually Education 5.0, it also talks about promotion infrastructure as one of the requirements for us to achieve what we want to achieve with the Education 5.0. So what happened then in the last, when Education 5.0 was introduced, was we reset, the higher education system, universities, and we revisited the promotion criteria for one to move from all the grades up to professor. And it now includes, you have to have a satisfactory among, it is in one of the 5 missions. With one, one of the most common, which is outstanding, is normally research, where we talk about our publications. But all the others, you must be meeting. It is a satisfactory according to the criteria which we made. And that has slowed down the number of professors now, because there was actually a serious outcry about that criteria, that it has to be like that. But it was developed by all the universities. What the Zimbabwe does, we are just coordinating, we promote, coordinate, then we regulate. So we simply say this is now the criteria, the promotion criteria, which was adopted by all the universities, and it can be reviewed. Like our Education 5.0 has reached its first life cycle of 5 years. We are going to be reviewing that Education 5.0, and it definitely would require industry to look into all the strengths and weaknesses of our Education 5.0.
Thank you.
Just one last one, sorry, allow me maybe to help. The issue of curriculum, we are also revisiting the curriculum differently. We have what are called professional programs, law, social work, accountancy, and all those. All the professional bodies, we are now working with them to revisit the minimum bodies of knowledge and skills at each one of them. So we are doing that, which is really specific, beside these other programs which are not professional programs. So we are looking into that. Thank you very much.
Good.
My question to the educators relates to the 8 million youth that need jobs between now and 2050. You see, I'm a man of the future, so I'm very interested in 2050. And if you look at our population today of 62% of Zimbabwe under 25 years of age, AI tells me that by 2050, we need 8 million jobs for those people. That's 320,000 jobs a year, 26,000 a month. What are the educators doing in collaborating with government and private sector to place those people that you're training in jobs? Because surely in today's economy, global economy of AI, of data, it's very possible to look beyond the borders of Zimbabwe. And how much of the skills that you're teaching them are relevant in today's global marketplace? Do we have, for example, a university teaching coding, programming in Zimbabwe? How many entrepreneurship universities are there? These are the practical things that we need to look at.
I think, Ken, that has been answered partly. Like we said, we have our next strategic plan soon. If you put all the 11 state universities, there's 30,000 plus young people who are graduating every year. Education 5.0, the idea was they should not just be going to be employed, but they should create industry. So, but where the missing link is these men and women here partnering with these institutions that together we give these young people the necessary competencies, but that's a long discussion. At the back, there's a question.
Yes, thank you. Okay. I think what we are looking for, or what we want to hear when we say innovation, is not necessarily the reinvention of the wheel. When we're looking at UZ, when we're looking at tertiary institutions, when we're looking at your students, we're expecting out-of-the-box thinking. So the difference between the UZ and my grandmother, where the Mve tree is concerned, is I'm expecting the UZ to tell me the active ingredient in Mve is so much, and this is how its efficacy, and how it can be made into tablet form or syrup form, and not that there is dried Mve for sale and, oh, this is just a herbal supplement, we don't know the active ingredient. So we want the UZ to dispel that, no, the Mve is not going to elongate certain things, but it's going to lower BP with this dosage. That's the difference between Guchu and innovation. So now we can get behind a product to say, no, this is going to be extracted from this tree, and then it's going to be packaged in this manner, possibly for export, and then now we have innovated. We can tell the world, now we have discovered that our tree can yield A, B, C, D, and these are the trial runs, and this is the data, this is the test. When it comes to drying mangoes and preserving fruits, maybe a faster method, maybe a way to do it in bulk or for village applications, but just drying mangoes is not innovation. That has been done.
You know what? It's like you were sitting in the office of the Vice Chancellor about 2 days ago. You want to comment what he said? I mean, just quickly, 2021 to now, shrimps, we spent about 1.1 or $1.7 million. It has 3% protein compared to Matemba. So the Vice Chancellor was saying, somehow we need to partner with industry to say, we don't need that. I mean, cereals for breakfast, we spend about $1 million importing, what is called this, Lays, every month. But we can do that. So, I mean, it might look simple, but we need some of the competencies you have to help our young people. You want to comment?
Yes, thank you.
Hello?
I want to comment on that. I agree with somebody who talked about the fact that we need to change the mindset of everyone, not just our students. And I am sorry, my brother, but I think this is exactly the mindset that we need to change. Because when you look at a product like our powder that is out there, and you expect that you want a tablet. That mve is a product of science. That mve powder is so ordinary, but the science that has gone through that is extraordinary. So it is the perception, some of the perceptions that we need to change. And let me tell you, the drying process that our students have tested over the whole years, most of our products that are dried, they have been tested by students throughout the year. They are not your grandmother's
Okay,
products.
Prof. 2 more questions, that's it. Can you say your question? Let's hear. You are not ready. You are the
Hello?
last person.
Sorry, guys. It's my turn. It's my turn. Okay. So my point now.
Candice will born me very soon, please, guys. Let's move quickly, please. Make it short.
Okay. My point is, what we need to do is not just for universities. I want also to talk about it on a corporate level. We are leaders here. We have CEOs here. We need now to come up with a situation where we create entrepreneur within companies. When we go for board meeting, we need people who are just working in coming up with a research and development. Their day-to-day job is to come up in innovative way. We are in the world of AI. Other countries in the States and everything where I live, we are well ahead. So what are we going to do in order to arrest all the problems that we have? We can have the solution when we have a board, or it could be even if individual people, they sit together on a strategy level with the board of directors. Guys, what we need, we must come up with a new product. I always say, if a company goes for 6 months or 8 months without coming up with a new product or product modification, a CEO is not working, is ineffective. So we need to change that.
Next, that's behind you. So the last person will be Dr. Shanakira, and these guys give me 30 seconds closing.
Please remember, the conversations start on stage, but they don't end
Dr.
there,
Shanakira,
so
your
don't
question,
worry.
she's not ready.
Sorry, can I come in?
Okay, thank you. I think we've kind of come full circle.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to highlight a couple of things. I think first and foremost, we need to build a comprehensive ecosystem, because there is work we've done with Junior Achievement Zimbabwe, there's work we do with Enactus, which has produced world champions at a child level. But somehow, I was surprised that you are talking all that you're talking, but you haven't talked about Enactus. Because we as industry and commerce have come to mentor your students. which has taken them at a global level.
They actually won about a week or two ago.
Exactly. So the fact that you didn't mention it worries me.
There are so many things we didn't mention.
Okay, all right. So not only have you won it just last week, but we've won it repeatedly, showing that at primary, secondary, and university level, we've been able to compete globally and actually win awards. Now, where are those kids going to after that? Because it then moves to linking them with what? Venture capitalists. The commercialization that you speak of, somehow we're losing them. Somehow we're not capturing to allow those kids who are pioneering, who are innovative, to go on and actually commercialize. And let me give you a specific study. I chaired the pharmaceutical industry study. Those figures and the premise that you began on, import substitution, is an old model. And it's a model which by now we ought to have perfected. So if we're going back and saying, we're importing so much, therefore, there is the economics that goes with what? Regional, global production to actually niche and be able to compete for a specific drug, for example. It takes a whole lot more than actually just saying, we'll import substitute. Which is where
I need to stop you, Doc.
Yeah, no, can I this
30 seconds.
Yeah, this is important because unless we are futuristic, unless we are strategic, we can't say we teach and lecture strategy when we can't actually get our own students to then compete. We still have the 16 subsectors of industry. Where are the pioneers within the food industry competing against the very people who are behind us? They're not there. So we must be asking ourselves, why are they not there? We must be asking ourselves why we still, this is what? Post-UDI. We still have what? 10 manufacturers of drugs or pharmaceutical companies that make drugs for human consumption.
Please come to the university. There are about 6 young people who registered their startups. What they are looking for is industrialists to help them. I'm being told to wind up. I apologize. You guys, 30 seconds. Each one of you, quickly.
Thank you.
30 seconds.
Yes, thank you so much for your comments. What I can say is that our education is undergoing transformation, and I urge everyone to participate in that transformation. Thank you.
Thank you. I think we really need to hit on mindset, which is for us to continue producing employees where the industries are not there is counterproductive. We need to go for job creators. But the implementation of Education 5.0 for me still has problems. There's incapacitation, both at an individual level, from a lecturer point of view, from universities, the resources to fund that, and lastly, the intellectual property, the texts and so forth for people to learn. It's all in the air. We need a little bit of investment. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. I think if we are to build a future-ready Africa, it's very clear that education is at the center of it. And the passion in the conversation shows, Prof, that we need a lot of collaboration with industry in building the education strategy and making it industry-ready. Industry is actually ready to partner. So let's take this forward.
Thank you.
No, thank you very much. The ZIMCHE is there for you to ensure quality in everything we do. But let's also remember, we are saying heritage-based education 5.0. We will teach, we will encourage our students to work with what we have as our heritage. So you would see a lot of matambas and so forth, because that is what is available to us. And we want to value add to those. I think let's also be very specific about the natural, we need the mineral resources, which we have. to be beneficiated. So that's what we'll be focusing on, and we work together to review the Education 5.0, to review all the minimum bodies of knowledge and skills in every program. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I want to say thank you. I want to say, please come to the University of Zimbabwe. Come to the Innovation Hub. We'll point you, we'll connect you. It's open to everyone. We have industry innovators, we have community innovators, we have industry professors. They are called adjunct professors because you guys, there's a lot that you know, which we want to partner together. Thank you very much, Candice. Did I keep time?
Perfectly timed. Please give him a round of applause. Thank you so much, Prof. Chifamba. Thank you so much to his panel. Please may we give the panel a round of applause as they exit the stage.